You're very cute, and I was wondering, would you like to go out sometime? So you've been watching our videos about Tinder and now you're going on your first date. You just finished the call with her and your palms are sweaty and you can't catch your breath. Wait a second, you are an iconic man, so you don't have these problems. Usually on a first date, we're trying so hard to make a good impression that we forget to be present in the moment. And our heads are full of questions like, what am I gonna say next? Or is she enjoying this place? Or does she like me? Or should I wait 10 more minutes before going in for a kiss? And this kind of questions aren't gonna do you any good. What they will do is they will keep you inside your head and you'll be responding to her with things like, or yeah. And if God forbid she asks for your opinion about something she just said, you're screwed. I've been there, done that. So the things that you have to do on a first date to make sure you get a second one are, number one, you have to be present. You have to get rid of all the distractions and focus on her. You're there because you want to see if you like her as much as you thought and check if you two are a match. Now make sure your phone is on silent and try not to get distracted by your social media notifications and only answer your phone if it's something really important. Otherwise, you shouldn't be using your phone at all. I've done this in the past and the girl that I was on the date with appreciated that I was not on my phone during our date. And this goes both ways. Imagine you're with a girl on a date and she spends her time on her phone. Number two, you have to be playful. It's totally normal and understandable to be nervous on a first date. You don't know this person and you have no idea how this is going to play out. But that doesn't mean that you need to act like you're in a job interview. Don't overdo it with probing questions because there's plenty of time to still get to know one another. The aim is for this to be an open conversation and to have fun. Let things flow and see what happens. I know you might think that it's important to get all your serious questions answered straight away so you know if this person is serious about wanting a long-term relationship or not. But even if they give you all the right answers, you still wouldn't know who they really are after just one date, so it's pointless. Number three, talk about meaningful things. First dates can become repetitive and boring if you're not consciously talking about interesting and exciting things. Questions like, what do you do and where are you from will only take you so far and they won't help you get to know someone's personality. A really great question that I love using is, what is something that you want to learn or wish you're better at? For me personally, it's dancing because I feel that through dance, you can express yourself. It's like an art, and I think it looks cool, and I really appreciate when I see someone who's a great dancer. I have a lot of respect for them. Don't be afraid to share something personal. Well, not that personal, something within reason. And be vulnerable on the first date, or even discuss something close to your heart. You need to take a risk and see what happens and where things lead. Number four, be confident. Even if you don't feel confident, you need to act like you're a confident person. As they say, fake it till you make it. The more you do this, the more you'll actually become confident. And women are attracted to confident men who feel good about themselves and know their worth. Good eye contact is a great indicator of confidence, so you need to work on that. For example, if you're talking to her and you're looking anywhere but in her eyes, it really shows that you lack confidence. You're very cute, and I was wondering, would you like to go out sometime? That's not good. You can train your eye contact skills either by yourself in the mirror or with your friends. I recommend doing it with a friend because it will feel more natural. I actually did this about 1 year ago when I had this problem with maintaining eye contact. I talked about it with a friend of mine and he had the same problem, and ever since then, we started, maintaining longer eye contact and becoming more comfortable with it. I've got a trick for you for when you're on a date with a girl. Instead of just looking her in the eyes, you can make a triangle between her eyes and lips. At first, when I first found out about this, I was nervous that she was gonna notice that I was looking at her lips and I was uncomfortable with that. But if you look at her eyes, left, right, lips, and you smile, and she notices that you're looking at her lips and she likes you, she's gonna smile as well. She's gonna be happy about it. Number 5, pay attention to both her and your body language. When you're nervous, you might end up talking really fast or crossing your arms like I'm doing right now, and doing things with your face or body that are signaling to your date that you're either not feeling really comfortable around her, or worse, you don't like her. I'll teach you a breathing technique for when you're feeling nervous. You can use it anywhere you are, be it a date or a job interview or in the bedroom. Whenever you're feeling nervous, do it and you'll feel a lot better. Okay, so first of all, we need to understand why you're feeling nervous. If your brain thinks that you're in danger, you start breathing heavier and you tense up. This is called fight or flight. Where you want to be is at the exact opposite, which is rest and digest. As I said before, this breathing technique is very easy to do and it's also very efficient. Instead of breathing in your chest, you want to breathe in your diaphragm. And how you do it is, you breathe in for 5 seconds, you hold in for 2, and you breathe out for another 5. So it should look something like this. Breathe in for 5, hold for 2, and breathe out for another 5. Trust me, it's nothing too fancy, but it gets the job done. Do it 10 times and you will feel a lot better than before. You can of course make it a lot more subtle than this, and you should definitely do that. Okay, another really important thing is that you touch her as soon as possible. The earlier you do it, the better. When you meet her, you shake her hand, but not how you'd shake a man's hand. You don't want a strong handshake with a woman. What you want instead is take her hand like you take it to kiss it. Be like, hi, I'm Alex, nice to meet you. Alright, let's go back to the date. So in the ideal scenario, she's sitting next to you and not across the table. Is she smiling at you? Is she playing with her hair? Is she laughing at your jokes, even though they're not that funny? Well, these are all great signs. Now I'll teach you another trick to get her to be more comfortable with your touch. So you're sitting down and she's right next to you. You're telling her a story about whatever, and what you can do is casually touch her arm, shoulder, or knee. So I'm looking at her because I'm talking to her, right? I still love you guys, but now, okay. So I have this little dog. He's so tiny, but he is the worst. See, I just touch her like boop, boop. She doesn't think anything of it, but in her mind, she's getting more and more comfortable with you touching her. Now, there's 2 things that can happen. She'll be okay with it and will be more comfortable with you, and you can escalate from there. Now, if she doesn't like you, no worries, because this is so casual that it won't even matter and she shouldn't think anything of it. Personally, I'm always tapping people on the shoulder when we're talking, but it's so casual that I've never had anybody complain or ask me, hey dude, like, why are you touching me? If she responds well to what you're doing, you should start escalating towards a kiss. It's your time to kiss her. Don't be nervous, you can do it. Usually you don't want to leave the kiss for the end of the date because the pressure will build up and it might get a little bit awkward. Number 6, don't get too drunk. I've been guilty of this one many times, and you never want that to happen. The last thing you want to do is get too drunk and become too pushy or say something stupid. What you want to do is have 1 or 2 drinks to get the things going and to calm your nerves. And besides, it's a waste of time to have more than 2 drinks in the same place. Either tell her that you have the best coffee at home if things are going great, or that you know an awesome bar nearby. It's important to change the location and not get stuck in one for hours on end. For example, if you have a drink in one place and then you go to another place to have a shot, and you go to the park and you buy some cotton candy, you now have a history together. And she will be a lot more comfortable with you because of that. Number 7, be yourself. Wearing a mask is never a good idea for the long term.
Remember the 5th of November.
Trying to impress her with things that are not congruent with who you are is a bad strategy because it will fail 100% of the time. Like, if she says something that you don't agree with, don't be afraid to speak up and say your opinion. So if she tells you that she likes yoga, for example, and you're not a great fan of yoga, instead of saying that you like it hoping to impress her, you're better off telling her that you don't like it that much. If you try to impress someone by pretending to be who they want you to be, you will end up wearing a mask in your relationship. So always be yourself and stay true to who you are. Finally, number 7, let her know you're interested. You should let your date know that you're interested in her and not try to act like you're not, because if you do, they might get the wrong impression and think that you don't like them, and the whole thing will go south. If you haven't already let her know that you like her by the end of the date, make sure you do it before you part ways. As I said before, it's best that you don't leave the kiss for the end, because you both might be nervous by then and it might feel weird. But if you haven't managed to kiss her till the end of the date and you actually want to do it, and you see that she also wants it, now is your last chance. You don't want her going home thinking that you didn't like her, or even worse, that you didn't have the courage to do it. So give her a hug, turn it into a kiss, and tell her you had a great time and you would love to see her again if that is the case. We'll talk about what to text her when you get home in a future video. So to sum it up, the things that you should do on a first date in order to get a second one are: be present, be playful, talk about meaningful things, be confident, pay attention to both her and your body language, don't get too drunk, be yourself, and let her know you're interested. Guys, I hope these tips will help you get that second date that you really want. If you enjoyed this video, leave us a like and we'll see you in our next video.